Good morning, Unstoppable Writers. I wanted to pop in and share something that I learned this weekend. I was attending a session from the conference, The Story, and it was virtual. And the speaker talked about how change is constant, and the way that change happens is when we move from an old story to a new story. But the question is, how do we move from an old story to a new story? And as the speaker shared, it made me think about the work that we do as writers and the work that we do in our lives. So the way that a character moves from a new old story to a new story is something happens. Typically, they don't choose for something to happen, but something pushes them out of the old story. The old story no longer works, and so they find themselves in this transition to the new story. And that space between the old story and the new story is what we call the in-between. Maybe it's the desert. It's this place where it feels like there's no story. And that can feel disorienting, discouraging. All the things from the old story that we thought were true or that worked for us, they all kind of fall away, and we're left walking almost in darkness, looking for what that new story is. And so I wanted to share that with you because as we write our books, that is a great question to ask. What is the transformation of my character? What's the old story, whether it's who they were, the way they thought about relationships, where they were in life, and then what's the journey taking them to the new story? What are the things that they have to leave behind? What are the things they have to learn and grow into? And this really stuck with me because I know that this year for many of us has been a drastic change. And when I heard the speaker describe that space between as the no story place, it just reminded me of some of the feelings that I've had this year. And I know most of us would be hard pressed to find people who made all of their goals or crossed off all their achievements in 2020, because it was a hard year. And it's easy to see, that we didn't create that old story that we'd wanted for the year without seeing the tremendous transformation, the growth that we had throughout that time. So I just wanted to encourage you with that. It's a great strategy for your books. Think about the old story where the character is, and then what's the transformation for where they're going. But even in your own life, are there certain old stories that you've been leaving behind? And what is the new story that this new year can bring, that the next season can bring? And just to encourage you as well, if you are feeling discouraged or in the middle of no man's land, a new story will emerge. Often it doesn't feel like it, but it's coming. And so I wanted to encourage you with that. And today is self-promo day, so don't forget to share your blog posts, your books. You can do it in our promo thread, or you can create a separate post sharing that with others. I hope you all have an amazing day, and remember to stay curious and keep writing.